When you stand at the edge of something new, whether it's a lifestyle change, a career pivot, or just finally putting yourself first, it can feel like you're standing at the base of a mountain, staring up, unsure where to place your first step. But the most important thing isn't getting to the top in a day. It's just taking that first step, and then another, and then one more after that. One of the most underrated shifts you can make, especially in your 30s and beyond, is giving yourself permission to slow down. We live in a world that screams, hustle, grind, do more, but you're not a machine. And success doesn't always come from moving faster. It comes from moving with intention. Think about the pace of your days. When was the last time you sat down to drink your coffee without checking your phone? Or took a walk without earbuds or an agenda? Just you and your breath and the sound of your feet on the ground? Slowing down doesn't mean giving up. It means tuning in to your thoughts, to your needs, to what really matters. Because somewhere between chasing deadlines and holding it all together, many of us forget what it even feels like to just be. Not to prove, not to perform, just be. And when you slow down long enough to check in with yourself, you start noticing the patterns that don't serve you anymore. Maybe it's the way you always say yes to avoid disappointing someone else. Maybe it's how you hide your real opinions to keep the peace. Maybe it's the way you avoid starting something because you're afraid of not doing it perfectly. Here's the truth, that perfection you're chasing, it doesn't exist. And waiting for the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect version of yourself before you begin, well, that's just another way of putting your life on pause. Start messy, start small, but start. Let's talk about your passions, the things that light you up. A lot of people, especially in their 30s and 40s, have buried their under layers of responsibilities. You might think, well, I used to love painting, or I always wanted to try writing, or there was a time I dreamed of opening my own cafe. And then life happened. Bills, kids, expectations. So the dreams got boxed up and pushed to the back of the closet. But what if you pulled one out again? Just one. What if you gave it 30 minutes of your week? Not to make money, not to go viral, just to feel alive. Doing something you love doesn't have to be productive. It just has to matter to you. That spark, it's still in you. It hasn't gone anywhere. Maybe you want to learn something new, something totally unrelated to what you do for a living. Take a class, watch tutorials, ask someone for help. It's okay to be a beginner. In fact, it's powerful, because beginners are open, curious, brave. And when you step into that space of learning and trying and exploring, you remind yourself that you're not stuck. You're still growing, still changing, still becoming, and that's what makes life worth living. There's also something deeply freeing that happens when you stop waiting for permission. You realize that you don't need the world to tell you that it's okay to change careers, or go back to school, or end a relationship, or finally start the thing you've been putting off for years. You get to decide, not in a reckless way, but in a grounded, honest, self-respecting way. So if there's something that's been tugging at your heart, don't ignore it. Ask yourself, what would it look like if I actually gave this a chance? Not 5 years from now. Not when the kids are older. Not when things calm down. Now. You don't have to burn your life down to build a better one. Sometimes, it's about tiny pivots. A new morning routine. A deeper conversation with someone you love. An hour of your week carved out just for you. Change doesn't always roar in like a storm. Sometimes it whispers. And the more you listen to that whisper, the louder your life starts to feel like your own again. There's a quiet strength in people who keep showing up for themselves, even when it's inconvenient, even when no one's clapping, even when progress is slow. You don't need a dramatic breakthrough to begin. You just need belief. Belief that you are worth the work, that your story doesn't end here, that there is still joy, still adventure, still meaning waiting for you on the other side of effort. And it's okay if it doesn't look like anyone else's journey. This is your life, your timing, your rhythm. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're not late. You're right on time to